Is your resume older than your kids? Or maybe you've never even made one at all? Today we'll be talking about resume do's and resume don'ts. So what do you include and what do you not include on your resume? No matter how talented you are, how overqualified you are, if your resume doesn't convert, you won't land any roles. This video is structured to first teach and then enable you to create the perfect resume. You will learn what a great resume has, see examples of modern resumes in action, and then be handed the tools and templates to start making your own. And stay tuned for the end of the video where we will be going through a free resume template. If you're looking for a deeper dive into creating a stellar resume, keep an eye out for our new Building Out Your Resume workshop coming soon for Uvaro members. Click the link in the description for more information about both the free resume template and our new workshop. Without further ado, let's get started. Our first resume don't is not being specific enough in your language. After all, your resume should demonstrate that you have a specific set of skills, experience necessary for the job, not just a set. Quantifying your bullet points is just one way to be more specific. Using metrics can highlight your achievements and give the recruiter a clear sense of how you impacted your previous place of employment. For example, someone who previously worked as a sales representative may say they executed more than 50 cold calls a day with an average 5% conversion rate. Being specific like this in your bullet points is a lot better than just saying completed cold calls daily. This is exactly what we mean when we want you to be more specific in your bullet points. So we encourage you to be specific. Don't speak in generalizations when writing out your bullet points. Although you want to keep your resume simple, easy to read, and to the point, you can also do this and be specific at the same time. You can also incorporate keywords from the job description that align with your experience. Another resume don't is using a passive voice. We encourage you to always use an active voice when writing out your resume, never a passive voice. In general, the active voice makes your writing a lot stronger, more direct, and you guessed it, more active. With the passive voice, the subject is acted upon by some other performer of the verb. So here's the formula for an active voice. You have your subject plus verb performed by the subject plus optional object. So an example of an active voice sentence is Chester kicked the ball. And now an example of a passive sentence is the ball was kicked by Chester. The active voice sounds a lot better than the passive voice. Language is everything, and how you say things can really make a difference. Another one of the worst resume don'ts is not double checking your resume for spelling or grammatical errors. Yes, we all make spelling or grammatical errors at some point, but your resume is a place where you want to avoid this as much as possible. Any errors basically demonstrate that you don't double check your work, which is always a red flag to recruiters. So check, and check again for any spelling mistakes that possibly could come up. Some other good practices to keep in mind in regards to spelling and grammar are staying away from using first person, staying away from abbreviations and slang, using strong action verbs to demonstrate skills and accomplishments. So for example, instead of saying led, consider using coordinated, executed, organized, headed, oversaw, or produced, just to name a few. Our next resume don't is not organizing your resume. Sometimes resumes are just not organized in the best way possible. So in order to effectively showcase your skills, we encourage you not using more than 2 fonts on your resume. Doing so can make it harder to read your resume, and you want it to be easy to skim and easy for recruiters to read. We encourage you to not make your resume font too small as well. Even though we want you to fit as much information as possible, making it very small defeats the whole purpose and actually makes it a lot harder to read. And finally, we encourage you not to make your resume more than 1 page. The most effective resumes are usually 1 to 2 pages max. So if you really have to go into 2 pages, that's fine, but we still encourage you to just remain at 1 page. Here's what we encourage you to do on your resume. Focus on formatting and consistent spacing and styling throughout your whole resume. List education, experience, and skills in reverse chronological order, so most recent to latest. Make information stand out with bolding and horizontal lines and tables. Make it easy to skim and make sure that your formatting holds up in PDF format. Another resume don't is not making sure that your resume is ATS friendly. We encourage you to optimize your resume's content and structure to successfully pass through an applicant tracking system known as ATS. Some companies receive such large amounts of applicants, so they use ATS to filter out unqualified applicants. This system goes through every resume and looks for relevant phrases and keywords. And most oftenly, they're the ones that are used in the job description. Resumes are then often scored, and the passing resumes are sent to hiring managers for review. So this is why when you're writing your resume, we encourage you to use language that is consistent in the job description as well. This ensures that your qualifications are properly reflecting the expectations of the role you're applying to. This is also another reason why we encourage you to keep your resume as simple as possible to ensure that ATS grades your resume on its content. And finally, here are a couple miscellaneous resume don'ts that some may not know. Using exact dates. Don't worry about using exact dates in your resume. Using the month and the year that you started and left each position is completely fine. Experimenting with a quirky format. Stick to a clean and easy to read format. Catch a recruiter with your experience, not with a tacky font, colors, or designs. Include in your high school education if you're a college graduate. Including your college GPA. Not applying for jobs that you don't meet most of the requirements for. Some employers might actually train the right candidate, and they often mention that in their listing, so don't be afraid to apply. Using cliches such as team player, hard worker, unless they are keywords from the job description. Now it's time to highlight an example of a resume and all the things that we love about it. So here's an example of an account executive resume that demonstrates many of the points that we just highlighted in the video. So let's take a look. To start off, this resume uses active vocabulary, ranked number 1 in new client acquisition and revenue attainment within Ohio office. This is a great example of an active sentence. This resume also has contact information listed right at the top. This is great because this is easy for recruiters to read and gives them easy access to your contact information. This resume also has a focus on formatting and consistent spacing and styling by choosing a format for listing your previous employers, job positions, and employment, and maintaining it throughout the document. They also make information stand out with bolding, tabbing, and horizontal lines. And they also list education, experience, and skills in reverse chronological order. Another great thing is that the bullet points in this resume are specific. They focus on the task at hand, the possible benefits or effects of the task, and the possible benefits or effects that the task had on you or your previous place of employment. So for example, the first bullet point of the second most recent job experience is managed a 200 account territory with special focus on 15 high-value enterprise accounts. And in terms of vocabulary, they use action verbs such as maintained, oversaw, managed, completed. And finally, this resume is ATS friendly. It's easy to read, it includes keywords for the specific industry, and is overall a great resume in our books. Now, if you'd like Uvaro's free resume template to help you get started on your resume, click the link in our description to get started. A resume template can be a great starting point for helping you organize your resume's information in an effective way. Our resume template is easy to read, organized properly, stands out among the crowd, is ATS friendly, and can help you land a new job. So what are you waiting for? Get started today with our free resume template. Looking for more insight? Register to become a Uvaro member today to get access to all of our career success resources. There you have our resume do's and our resume don'ts. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Or check out Uvaro for more information surrounding how you can achieve ultimate career success. We help people change careers and enable them to land their dream jobs in tech. So remember, Uvaro is your career success company.